I'm Brenna Gibbons. Senate Bill 13 was signed into law in June. A bill focused on the regulations of school district library material. On Monday, Abilene ISD school board met to discuss this bill. One important part of this bill that the board talked about was a school library advisory council, or SLAC, to be put in place. SLAC is a committee that would be formed of 5 people to help with adding or removing library materials to a school library catalog and making changes to the policies or guidelines related to it. Abilene ISD already has some policies in place to help monitor what is in their library.
We have a challenge policy that anybody that finds a book that they think is inappropriate in the library can file a challenge. And there is a committee that will review that challenge, and then that committee will determine whether the challenge is legitimate or whether the challenge is frivolous. The other thing we're doing is every single book in every library in Abilene ISD is posted online. Library catalogs, not the actual books, but our library catalogs, so you can go on our website and you can see the titles of the books that we have in our libraries.
Dr. Kuhn says there are some pros and cons to having the system in place. He says some of the reasons he would be against having SLAC in place right now is
this law is still evolving in front of our eyes. We don't exactly know what it's going to entail, and so there is some wisdom in saying, let's just hold our water and see what comes of it, and then we can decide later if we should or should not. We're not sure yet, but the potential that my elementary teachers will have to go through 1,000 books in their elementary classroom library and catalog those so that we can upload those so parents can see every classroom library. A kindergarten teacher, the books are very small and very short. They have, I'm not exaggerating when I say 1,000.
However, Dr. Kuhn also sees the positives of having SLAC in place.
The other reason that you might consider having the SLAC is because, frankly, the existence of some obscene library books in school libraries outside of Abilene, in the DFW Metroplexes where this all started, has caused about 8 or 10 years of public school districts being really impugned in the public square. Well, a positive that could come out of a SLAC is some of the heat would come off of your public school educators when it comes to making decisions about whether a book is or is not obscene, right? Because now that wouldn't be John Kuhn saying, no, that book's fine. It wouldn't be Joe Waldron, it wouldn't be the principal, it wouldn't be a teacher. It would be a committee of multiple people from multiple backgrounds.
After a vote from the AISD school board to approve this policy, it passed 5-2.